Hey guys, Doc back with you here. We ended up surviving our trip to go and do the yard sale, the Highway 70 yard sale here in Tennessee. Unfortunately, some bad weather had come through, and some of the areas that were usually pretty heavily involved didn't have any traffic and didn't have anybody out there selling anything. So that was kind of a bust, but hey, me and my wife and stepson had a pretty good trip overall. They got to have some Jack in the Box last night with some of the tiny tacos. I begged off because it was almost 10 o'clock by the time we got said tiny tacos. And, I'm trying to be a somewhat halfway respectable diabetic. So, anyway, what I did do today is on the way home, I stopped by a little shop called Comics Universe that I drop in every time that I'm in Jackson, Tennessee. Shout out to those guys. Excellent, excellent little shop. And I did pick up a few books that I was either looking for or something that I can show somebody if they're in need of talking about a little psychological evaluation, a little psychological help. These books have helped me with presenting groups when I was working the floor at my job. So let's go ahead and see what I picked up this weekend. All right, the first book that I've talked about on this channel is The Spectre, issue number 14, with a story entitled The Silver Room. This was written by J.M. DeMatteis with art by Craig Hamilton, and it talks about a vampire. And I'll link to that video if I can find it down below. But it talks about a vampire who has lived for multiple decades, probably multiple centuries at this point. And he didn't really want to hurt anybody. He became that person through means not of his own. And he doesn't want to harm anybody, so he locks himself away in this tower called, and there's a room inside there called the Silver Room. And this is one of those issues that it's perfectly shown why this version of the Spectre, this Hal Jordan version of the Spectre, was called the Spirit of Redemption. He seeks to bring Jonah, I believe is this character's name, seeks to bring him solace and seeks to bring him closure for something that he did a long time ago to hurt somebody. And this is really one of the most powerful issues of that particular run, due to both the writing of J.M. DeMatteis and the artwork of Craig Hamilton. All right. The second one, which I've kind of already shown off, is The Spectre, issue 13, Eternity in an Hour. And this was written by J.M. DeMatteis and penciled and inked by Ryan Sook. This was Ryan's last issue on the title before Hamilton took over for one issue, and then Norm Brayfogle actually came in and penciled the last year of the series. So Eternity in an Hour is a story where Hal Jordan, again, is shown off, watch out, Percy, shown off as the Spirit of Redemption. And he was once known as the Drowning Man. And his love was for the Forever Woman. And the Forever Woman took a bite of an apple, and it opened her inner eyes, and it opened her life and her love, and it let her know everything. She learned everything. All moments were one moment, all at the same time. But she never forgot that man who she left behind, although he had drowned himself years before because he couldn't live without her. She had ascended to something that was beyond the ability to love him. So he unalived himself. And this story speaks to the pain that she went through, the agony she had been through, living all of those thousands of years without the man that she loved. So also a really deep, amazing story, not only about redemption, but about love and the power of love, and how the power of love can make somebody change for good or for bad. So, two really excellent issues, and surprise, folks, I did find the last issue of Solus by CrossGen, Remember, I told you in a video about a month and a half or so, maybe back, that I had found issues 1 through 7. Now I have found the last issue, number 8, and that was written by Barbara Kessel with art by Leonard Kirk and inks by Andrew Pepoy. So I guess by that point, George Perez had moved on, although he did do cover art, but he had moved on to other projects. But that's the 3 books that I picked up, just so that I can say that I picked up some things that I needed. Unfortunately, I didn't find any vendors out there today that had any comics. There might have been 1 or 2, but we just didn't find them in our travels. So I'm glad that I did find Solace so that I can finish the ending to that series, and it actually can be a video for you guys after I finish reading that series and seeing exactly where these characters go. And it's an awesome cross-gen book to pick up on, to boot. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you have a wonderful weekend, and I will catch up with you next go-around.